Hello and welcome back to the Monch Hours Podcast, where we appreciate all things anime and manga. I'm your host, John, and I'm here with the Surfer King himself, Master of the Waves, go big or go home, not Johnny Tsunami, but Jordan in the house. What's going on?
Bro, I'm neither of those things, not a Surfer King, just a dude who falls in the waves.
Hey, man.
Definitely don't go big. I go small, little ankle biters. So, yeah, you need to reassess that whole intro because you just described a person who is not me.
Non-existent. That's your Bankai, bro. You just haven't unleashed it yet. You haven't found your surfboard's name to unleash your Zanpakuto.
True. I'll work on that.
But yeah.
I feel like my board's name would be like Hank or something.
Hank? Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It'd be like a person's name. Henkel.
Anyways, yeah, so this is the Monch Hours Podcast. Like I mentioned, we're talking all things anime and manga. This episode, we're covering the latest episode of Attack on Titan, which was pretty insane. I think it's we can all agree with that, so we're excited to dive into that. Plus, we'll be talking about Dr. Stone, and speaking of surfing, the new anime wave. In terms for the manga, we got quite a few chapters coming up this week, which is pretty nice considering the last couple weeks and during the holidays they were kind of sporadic, and that is going to be Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and I think I'm forgetting one. What is it? What's the other, Jay?
I think that's it.
And Black Clover, because I read it, and I finished Bleach. Dude, that was my week. That's where I spent most of my time. But anyways, yeah. With that, we'll cue the intro and crack a cold one.
Welcome to the Monch Hours Podcast, where we consume manga and anime with pleasure. Crack a cold one and enjoy the show.
I hope we can finally fight without any distractions now.
How do you know the Muju style?
Fate is a fascinating thing. The Muju style would be something that I alone am the master of. There's no escaping that it's your destiny to die by my hand.
Since it is destined, I'd like to see what the hand of God is all about.
Gladly. I've been sitting idle now for far longer than I would have liked.
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive. I have to do it, Faye.
It's all a dream.
Yeah. Just a dream.
All right, we're in the middle of January. What is your drink of choice this week, Jordan?
I am drinking the hazy Big Swell.
Ooh, Big Swell, Maui Brewing Company. Tell me I'm right, because I know I am.
You are. This is the variation, though. They just came out with a hazy version.
Oh.
So. Yeah.
Loving the hazies, man. You know, 2020 was definitely the year of the hazy. That's for sure. At least on my side. I'm drinking a hazy too. This one's made west. This is actually coming from Ventura, California. So where I'm located, off the pier, and we catch the sun and the waves drinking a hazy.
There you go, bro.
This one was actually funny. I took Shane, our guest, he's been on a couple times there, and his first hazy was this Made West hazy that we had, and he had like a couple, and then like he was feeling pretty good, but I don't think he kind of knew, because you know hazies kind of creep up on you because they don't taste just, they're very smooth.
It's fruity.
Yeah.
Cool. A lot of
a little
notes.
deceitful. So he stood up and he said, "Oh."
yeah.
He kind of got the shakes. He said, "Oh, how much
Oh.
alcohol is in this one?" I said, "Ooh, you get a little hazy. You're getting kind of lazy. Better watch out, Mr. Shanesy." No, I didn't
Did
say
he
it
hit
like
that
that.
lean?
Yeah, yeah. His elbows up side to side. You know, the West Coast thing like a cholo. But no, yeah, man. So I'm glad you're drinking a hazy, and I'm drinking one too. So cheers to you. 7.0 for this one
Hazy
here.
Brothers.
Hops, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Eureka. I don't know if that's how you pronounce the first two, but hey. You know me, my words.
You did good for once.
For one. Yeah, so like we mentioned, we're talking about Attack on Titan, and then Dr. Stone Wave, and then we'll jump into the manga. And then I'll talk about Bleach later on, because I know you guys have probably heard enough of Bleach from me, but it's only good things this time. So, Attack on Titan, this was the episode that I believe is setting everything in motion.
Yeah. This is wild, bro.
Right.
I feel like I say that like almost every episode with Attack on Titan, but this was one of those game changer episodes.
Oh, game changer, okay.
And like, so I might be off base with this, but when I was watching it, the whole time I just heard. You remember in The Dark Knight when Two-Face was, or I think it was Two-Face when he was saying, oh no, I think it was Commissioner Gordon or whatever. He said, "You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a
The villain? I love that quote, man.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh, is that Eren now? Is he the antagonist in this story? Because it kind of like full circle. Like his story started with just destruction in his town, and now he's laying waste to like innocent people. Speaking like, I mean, they have their corrupt government just like inside the wall they did,
right.
But he's doing exactly to them what was done to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see kind of like the reflection in Gabby, how she's reacting to seeing all this death of her loved ones and friends. And Eren is going to be like the face of
Eren's
like,
her colossal
the cause
Titan.
of that. Yeah.
Breaking the wall.
Yeah, dude. The whole time I was like, shit. Now I'm on team
Gabby.
team
yeah, I'm on Marley.
Team Eldians.
Yeah, Eldian Marley.
Team Marley. Yeah.
This one was definitely, I think, the getting back into the Attack on Titan kind of pacing that we've all come to grow and love. Unfortunately, kind of morbidly in terms of like just death. And I say that with like a heavy heart because I did get, just like you said, man, I did start getting attached to these, future warriors that were the Eldian Marleyans, which would be Zofia, who, damn, she had the worst of the bunch. She got an off-screen death, bro, smashed by a rock. Did not expect that to happen. Did not expect the other dude, what's his name? Dodo, Nofo, Zodu, I don't know. Glasses.
Yeah. Edo.
4 eyes, just like myself here. Got trampled. And I was just like, I was watching it and I was kind of like flinching. Like I heard like the, like the smacks of the feet into the guys. I was like, fuck, man. And then, it just, kept going and going and going. And then you see like the terror in Gabby when, Sasha and I love like this little callback to Sasha, how she's like a master hunter, as we saw, like she's so skilled with the bow and arrow, so it just makes sense she's like an elite sniper for the scout corps, and let's like rock those Marleyan guards like with one shot, one kill. And like the terror in Gabby and like the shriek, fuck, man, talk about bone chilling, I think, if I were to describe that scene.
Yeah, it was wild, dude. It was this one thing after another, and you see the characters that you loved, their experience from inside the wall fighting Titans, and now it's transferred into them using like their maneuver gear just on like civilian, well, not even civilians, but like just guards who are on the ground don't have the same capabilities, and they're clearly outmatched because of their mobility. They can't handle that, and they just a team of like 10 of them are just laying waste to just everyone they encounter.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, man. Go. You got it.
Oh, I was just gonna point out. I like how they kind of adopted Kenny's
Fighting style,
maneuver gear.
Yeah, like that kind of the run and gun type. But Kenny had like the freaking shotties, bro. That scene still like that Kenny scene is still like, it's like the same thing. Remember, like in that, if you go back to that episode, Levi's just chilling with his homies, and Kenny just rolls up, shoots two of the characters that are there that you kind of got attached to. Like that's all you get. There's no goodbye. There's no, heroic moment. It's just like the cruel reality of death in the world, in this world, in this universe.
Yeah.
One of my favorite takeaways from this episode is actually not the Titans themselves. It actually was a single moment. It did involve a Titan. But we had kind of this build up, in this season. Always mentioning like the devils of Paradis, and the Titans and the devils, just moments before this all took place, we had the Tiber guy talking to the Commander McGrath, who actually kind of like him, dude. That guy is kind of like grown on me. He's very like level-headed in terms of like military commandment, but I digress. He's talking about they are devils, and McGrath's like, so are we. But when the Jaw Titan leaps for Eren and kind of almost grabs him by the nape, and then Levi comes down and unhinges his jaw and kind of sends him to the ground, and then the Jaw Titan looks into the distance and sees the storming of the capital. No, the storming of the maneuver gear scout regiment, and those are the devils. Like those are just regular humans. But they command so much presence, and seeing them soar through the sky in their gear, and like he says it perfectly. He's like, what? Like these measly humans are coming to kill me, a Titan, the true devils of Paradis. And I thought that was one of like the most amazing scenes in that episode right there. That gave me chills when I first saw that kind of just take place, because it's been a long time, man. Like if you really see the progression of like the first time they're learning their maneuver gear and how fearful they were of just like normal Titans, and they got scared of like the aberrant Titans that were just like kind of special, and now like no fear attacking shifter Titans like the Jaw and Warhammer. It's just like, fuck, man, they are the devils. It's such a sick statement, man. And I feel like it go under the radar, but I love that. I love that a lot.
That image of from his point of view, and you see the light in the background that they had set up, so it's kind of casting a shadow as they're slowly like getting closer to him.
Yeah.
And they're like crossing over, like looking kind of like Spider-Man swinging through the air.
You hear that whoosh, whoosh, like the cable just fucking slicing through the air and then planting itself within the walls.
Yeah, that imagery was great.
Yeah, I thought that was.
We have to touch.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we have to touch on the Warhammer Titan.
Yeah, fucking badass.
We can't, dude. That was OP. I think I like the character progression in Eren though, where he used to just be a bruiser, and in this instance, you see him actually think after like getting destroyed. He's like, there was something weird about how she transformed.
Yep.
And then he kind of like deduced that her body was underground, whereas Eren of old would just have kept swinging.
Well, yeah.
You see his growth in that aspect.
And also, I think too, like it shows his kind of just unfaltering malice in terms of like when he struck before she even fully shifted. Like he tried, like that was a normal shifter, then like she would have got rocked. Like when when she was first forming, like Eren wasted no time. And I think that's just like, what happened to him? What happened to Eren? Like I know, like I wonder if we're gonna get some type of flashback of like the time skip that we had, but like, damn, bro, like what there had been more than just like the last season that we saw. I know he's been through a lot of shit, but he must have like seen more and uncovered more horrors of Marley, and I'm not sure what it is, but damn, dude, and, like, I saw the memes and like try to be like spoiler free, you know, it's so fucking hard on Twitter and stuff, and it's like when people are like comparing, like I saw like the jokes like Aaron is like, you know, like to like Stalin of like the communists, you know, like where he just like onslaughts, like doesn't care as long as for the benefit of his people, and like I'm seeing it now, and even like Mikasa, and I love these new character designs. Sasha, dude, Connie looks badass, Jean looks badass, Mikasa short hair, fucking love it. Waiting to see Armin. Levi looks the same, still looks fucking cool, but like Mikasa, when she's like, what did you do? Like, you killed children, you killed innocents. You know, it's just like, fuck.
She's like, you can't take that back, you can't undo that.
Yeah, that was a heavy blow. And that's not our same Aaron, man. I don't know who that is, but that's not Aaron. And maybe
you don't see any emotion.
You know, now that I'm thinking too is maybe it's a culmination of like his experience. And if I kind of think back, you know, he did absorb the Founding Titans' powers, so maybe he's unlocking memories and he's seeing how they were treated back in the day. Maybe there's the connection there. And I know that there's some weird. I don't know if you remember this, but like I think it was like in season 2, maybe it was in season 3, but like there's like some weird Titan consciousness that like they connect to, and they can see like distant memories of the past and even the future, and like no one really explains it in the anime yet, so I'm guessing we'll get into it here in this season probably, but I'm assuming maybe that's like his connection as well into what's just he's just like, it's kind of like Dr. Xavier when he like gets all the emotions of all the people, and it's like overbearing, it's too much, and that just leads him to be almost numb to anything other than the benefit of his people who have been wronged.
Yeah, I feel like they're setting it up to give us like a lot of backstory. So just through context, you see that there's kind of been a separation from Eren and the scouts, and you know, Mikasa touches on it. Yep. Like they haven't been like together really, it seems like. No. And even Eren, you know, he sent those letters to his friends, and just when with his little like dialogue in his inner dialogue, he's like, "Oh, so you came," or something along those lines.
Yeah, dude.
Oh no, I think he tells Mikasa, he's, "Oh, so you did. Glad to see you came."
Yeah, it's
or
like,
something
holy
along
shit, dude. What was your plan, Eren?
Yeah, he was just trust. I mean, he trusts his friends like wholeheartedly. You've seen that the whole season or series, but there's a separation. We don't understand it yet, but he still had that trust that they'd come.
Yeah, I think they're hitting the nail on the spot there. There's so much that's about to be fleshed out. This episode really hammers the stark contrast of like, we know so much of Marley, and it's been so long that we know of our old crew here, you know, Sasha and company, that it really brings it to the forefront once again, and it's like you just mentioned, like what went down. Like they must have been separated for so long. Even Levi showed up, and the scouts are fucking like elite as fuck, dude. There's that new guy with like the K-pop haircut, the red hair guy. He's just like savage as hell too. He's just like, oh fuck it, man. Is
that the dude? So correct me if I'm wrong. Is he the guy who was the only one to survive the charge?
No. I think you're right.
Is that the dude?
I think you're right, dude. I'll have to go back, but dude, that would make sense to me, because that's why he's just like relentless. He's like, fuck it, I've seen the horror that they've made.
Yeah, I want to say it probably is, and he's a named character, so we could easily check that.
Yep. I'll have to dive into that. If you know though, you leave a comment. Oh, real quick too. I keep waiting to the end of the episodes, but I should bring this to the forefront. Thank you for our listeners, for our supporters. Aeroblast, you commented a couple times on their videos. You don't have social media, but you're commenting on their videos. And dude, thank you so much for leaving those comments. We're glad we can help you out, and that's perfectly fine, man. So appreciate you guys reaching out to us. That made our the start of the year just that much. and me and Jordan appreciate that to the fullest. Speaking of comrades,
for sure.
on the Scouts.
we the Scouts.
We the Scouts, baby. The Monch Mob, bro.
Yeah.
That's what they call us.
Monch
Elite
Mob.
Scouts.
Monch
Regiment.
Scouts.
But yeah, dude. Also, I think we'll wrap this up here because we're touching on the 20-minute mark, and we got a lot to discuss. And but we do see the kind of clever and wittiness of the cart titan Pieck, I think her name was, when she like warned her friends like this guy's shady. So she has like a really she's not just kind of like a donkey, like I would say, like one would presume a cart titan is just used for, you know, to carry shit, and like that's the extent of their expertise. But like obviously she, you know, I would not be surprised if she has some type of like tactical expertise that would rival someone like Armin, you know?
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, her whole role, it seems like, is leading a
close-knit group.
the Panzer.
Yeah, a Panzer unit. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That's crazy.
And yeah, she's got to be able to navigate a battlefield, keep normal humans alive that are, you know, using her as transport. So
yeah, and at first, like people like the manga crew were like, "Oh, Pieck," and the anime crew kind of like, "Yo, this is who you guys are snipping for," and I was like, "Yeah, what?" But I don't know, man. Now I'm kind of seeing those like dead eyes. I'm like, you know what? All right. I see the allure. I get where you're coming from. I can see it.
Got a thing for dead eyes, bro?
Bro, fucking
You got
after
some other
2020, dude.
descriptors.
Shit, bro. I got dead eyes,
We
too.
all got
Look
dead
at
eyes
this.
after.
Speaking of eyes,
Yeah.
bro, dude, it's been hot here. In California, bro, like I walked out today, and it felt like it was really surreal moment because it was a dry heat because of the Santa Ana winds, and it was very Arizona weather, and I said, fuck, bro, it's been so hot. I sweat, and I have like symmetrical like zits on my eyebrows right here where like my sweat beads up. It's the stupidest shit. I'm like, fuck. Like no amount of like my because I got my skincare routine, you know, gotta stay fresh. But there it is what it is, baby.
Damn, symmetrical ones.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see the video. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I'm assuming you pointed them out.
I did. I got no shame. Fuck it. I don't care.
I'm gonna screen grab
I
that.
just wearing a standard ass my Carhartt t-shirt. It's hot. I'm just trying to chill. And upstairs, you know, heat rises, so I'm like cooking. I got my fan on, so hopefully I'll be able to edit it out. I might sound kind of watery, but it is what it is, baby. But I think unless you got anything else to cover on Attack on Titan, I think that pretty much wraps it up for.
Oh, gotta give a shout out to Willie Tiber.
True.
Sacrificing everything for his cause, for what he believes in.
Willie Tiber,
There's
man.
something to
He got
respect
gobbled
about
up.
that, but
He got gobbled up, and I said, "Whoop, you guys he ain't the Warhammer after all."
Yeah.
So I said,
Bye,
I
Willie.
texted Jordan. I said, "Don't blink, dude. Don't blink in the first 5 minutes when you watch this episode, because so much shit happens."
Yep. But yeah, no. I think we covered everything. Or not everything, but we covered
I
a
think covered the most
good
important.
chunk of this episode.
Yeah. So let's jump into. We have the new season of Dr. Stone, which I think we're both pretty hyped about. It's one series, and this is like. I hope Shane's watching it because I think we pitched it pretty good to him, but he's been pretty busy too. Holidays are kind of crazy, but Dr. Stone is one of those ones that's just like a sweet surprise that came out of nowhere for me, not expecting anything of it, and quickly became one of my favorite series ever in terms of both anime and manga. So here we have season 2 coming out, and it's the Stone Wars.
Stone Wars, bro. It's beginning.
It's beginning. Opening with our boy Gen. Was Asaragi? I don't know. Gen, the mind. What do they call him? The mind.
The mentalist.
The mentalist. Gen, the mentalist. I love dude. Who betrayed Tsubasa for a bottle of Coke.
That's all it takes.
I'm glad, dude.
Sweet nectar.
He opened up with
cola.
I didn't realize how much I missed the Senku-chan, the kid when he talks about it. I'm like, there it is. So I'm pretty hyped. I'm hyped about it. Unfortunately, I gotta be real with you guys. I only saw like the first 10 minutes of this episode. It's playoff season, and
No,
well, you know what? I got to do what I got to do.
I'll lay it out. I mean, you're caught up on the manga, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna be spoilers or anything. But I mean, it was basically just the science behind making a cup of noodles, like freeze drying food.
Okay.
So I don't know if you got to that
I
point.
did.
Yeah,
I got to
so
the point where like
they're-
the old captain of the village is like, "We're gonna bomb him with ramen," and I was like laughing. I was like, "Yeah, that's typical." Yeah. And then I had to like zoom out because my mom was like, "Oh my god, the Browns!" Because fuck the Browns.
Oh man.
Cursed me, Jordan.
won't touch
You guys
it.
saw, if you saw the last episode, this guy single-handedly cursed the Steelers, bro. Single-handedly on tape. So,
I took him down just with my mentalist abilities.
oh,
But-
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Jay the mentalist.
Jordan the mentalist.
Call you Jen.
Jin. Yeah. But yeah, this episode, it was, basically like they're about to go to war, and you got to pack light for these situations. Senku's whole mindset is it's an advantage to have a warm meal when you're going into like a war situation in the middle of the winter, and so he just used a cup of noodles as an inspiration to create freeze-dried ramen. And just going through the whole process, like it's been like a year since I watched the first season of Dr. Stone, and I forgot how much I loved just the whole scientific process that
Absolutely.
goes into each of these scenarios. And it's cool, like I'm sure it happens quite a bit in the manga, seeing as you've read all the how many, like 200 chapters? But
Yes,
I
sir.
I like seeing how the science builds on each other. So they have to use a vacuum to freeze dry the ramen, and in the past it shows that they had created a vacuum to make the light bulbs. So it's not like they're just creating new like science that would be overwhelming for these primitive people in this situation to fathom. Like Senku's kind of teaching them like the process behind like different sciences and how you can use the same techniques for other like objectives.
Yeah, you don't got to rebuild
That's
it.
cool,
You
like-
just build on what you have, and that's like the
Yeah.
embodiment of 21st century technology and the progression of the human race building upon what they've created. And it's so like, I don't know, dude. I like learning when it's Senku's teaching.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
know.
Bill
You
Nye
know,
in
Professor
anime
Senku was- Seriously.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Like legit, like I wonder if there's any science teachers out there using like Senku as like a teaching point. Like
I would.
if they're touching on. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? If you could just clip like sections of.
And
like,
the manga
Dr.
too.
Stone.
The manga goes into like the same flow.
I'm curious. I'm sure there has to be at least one. It's a big world. There's got to be someone
Yeah,
out there.
they're slowly coming apart, and I think if you want to connect with your kids these days too, especially like, if you're zooming anyways in today's day and age, then you probably just want to pull up some screenshots. I would. If you know anybody, let them know. We'll put them on the cast. We'll guest them up. Give us a little 10-minute segment.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually,
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, beyond that, it just progresses to the point where they're finally trekking out. They have the Tsubasa army has the guards that are still posted up in the forest. So Senku devises a plan of like distraction using gases that he fills into I think he said a deer stomach, and he like pumps it, and then he uses it like as an explosion,
Mhm.
but it's really just exploding air. It's not like an actual explosion, but just to get the attention off where they're gonna trek to, so they can sneak past. So our boy Senku's always using that science, bro. This ain't a battle of war. It's a battle of brains. He's not gonna be out there slinging fists. I even mentioned that, like in this episode, he's like, "We're not gonna kill a single person." Which, when you think of like, what's a stone war like? Someone's got to die, but not in Senku's mind.
That's right. Senku science, baby.
Yeah. Oh, and touch on it. They're also him and is it Gene? The mentalist?
Oh, Gen.
Whatever his name is. Gen.
Gen
yeah,
Asaragi, dude. I'm gonna Google this right now. If I'm right, I'm gonna be so proud of myself. Gen Asaragi.
But yeah, they devise a plan to dissuade, kind of like propaganda.
Oh, your boy!
You nailed it. Look at you.
Wait, he's doing this.
It was only your favorite character of the first season, so
yeah. Oh, how's he doing? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Wait.
But
I'll put a
yes.
screenshot up on the.
They devise a plan to use like propaganda to kind of convince the Tsubasa army members that the idol, I can't remember the name, but the one who song that
they have the
was
record
on the disc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're gonna try and convince them that she's alive, and using the cell phone technology they created, they're gonna have Gin like talk like her, because apparently he can mimic a woman's voice.
Yeah.
And say that the United States is not destroyed and has recovered, and that they're sending aid. Because in Senku's mind, like the only reason that they're following Tsubasa is, or no, Tsukasa, right? What am I? Tsubasa's not him, but
I said
Tsukasa.
Tsubasa
They're
earlier.
following.
Tsukasa is Mikasa.
Yeah, yeah. Blending languages.
Whoa,
now.
bro.
But
so check this out. So you know that it's a Spanish saying, Mikasa, Tsukasa. If you want to remember the names, think of Attack on Titan, Mikasa, and Dr. Stone, Tsukasa.
I think that would confuse me more, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll just.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, that's. John's got to take some L's every now and then to keep him humble. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the final phase in this beginning is just propaganda for the most part. So that basically sums up that episode. I don't even think you have to watch it now.
Yeah, I got visually imagined the manga back in my head when that came out. So pretty good though. How about Wave, man?
Now,
so that's something you're recommending to me to add to my list. So I kind of have to. If Jordan's recommending me something, I kind of have to jump on that. I kind of have to catch that wave, if you will.
Oh, look at you, bro.
I gotta
sitting on that
come
one.
back to the top, man. I'm climbing my way.
Oh, you redeemed that L and put a W in the column.
It's like a shonen protagonist, baby. I gotta take my losses to get my wins.
But yeah, dude, Wave was a lot of fun. It might be biased just because I enjoy surfing, but you know, it is the first episode of a sports anime, and a lot of it was having to do with just like the learning how to surf and whatnot, the process of the sport. But there's an interesting like twist with like one of the main characters. Like he can't swim. He's like out there. He like goes and learns to surf for the first time, and like he catches a wave and is like just bombing it, and like he's like, if I fall, I'll drown. You're like, yeah, you shouldn't be out there.
Hey,
bro.
that's one way, dude. That's one way to make sure you fight or flight response, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you won't fall, I guess, if you know you'll die.
And
the animation's beautiful. In this.
Okay, so
really enjoy that.
Is this on Crunchyroll?
It is.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it released in Japan as movies.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
I could have swore you were telling me about that, and that's why like you were hyped about it, but there was like a disconnect. And you had to wait something.
Yeah.
So that's how I was kind of tripping out.
So yeah, I'm assuming they just sliced it up into segments, releasing it episodic now.
Cool.
At least over here.
Do that for fucking Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm waiting for my Mugen Train, bro.
Right? Oh, dude, they need to. Give us the goods. Shit. Well, yeah, that's basically, it wasn't anything too in depth in this episode.
Now to kind of bring that into real life, I heard there's some huge swells out there in Maui, as there was some here in California. There's actually a video of like surfers, shout out to surfers, actually rescuing like student sailboaters that were out there like practicing, and they had like surfers were out there rescuing them from like their toppled over sailboats, like little sailboats, like obviously not ready for sea, just like kind of like a teaching kind of exercise. So I was fucking
damn, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I'll send you the video. My brother sent it to me because my brother Brandon surfs, so shout out to him. He learned it last year, and you guys, now that you're moving back out here into this side of the world, if you come to California, we'll get you. You guys can go surfing, and I'll be chilling with Caitlin on the beach, just drinking a fucking 40, chilling. But you sent me a video of the fucking swells over there in Maui. That gave me a heart attack, bro.
They were like 50-foot waves, just insane, bro.
When it starts off, like it's so crazy because like you're like at first I was like, oh okay, and then it slowly rises, and my like the wave slowly rising was like my anxiety rising at the same pace.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like we're driving past, and like you just look out, and the wave breaks, and it just looked like an explosion, like someone dropped a bomb in the water, and it just blew up. It was ridiculous. Like it looked like an avalanche too. Yeah,
just the white, the ripples and stuff. It was like I thought he fell, but you see him break out of it, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah, just stay calm in that moment, because like you have to have perfect balance, right? Like you have to be doing everything right. There's no room for error at all.
Yeah, at that level, you have to be like world class.
And if you do fuck up, like water's heavy. Like if you guys haven't been surfing, you guys haven't been to the beach, because I'm sure people haven't. Water's heavy. When those waves come down, it fucking thrashes you around. Like I've been out there. I don't surf, but like I'll be out there in the boogie boarding, and then going up, past my head and stuff, to where you gotta like tread water, and those waves crash. They crash. So that kind of pressure. That kind of size, I'm assuming broken bones? I don't know. You tell me, man. I'm assuming like that's the least of it.
I mean, yeah, you can get just thrown into rocks or reef. Or just drown. You can get held down. The wave will hold you down. Another wave can come on top of that. A lot of those guys in that level, or those bigger waves, they wear like vests that have like CO2 or some kind of gas that you pull a string and it releases, and you'll just shoot to the top of the surface.
Oh shit! Well, fuck. That's at least.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. So, still, I'm going to catch me out there. Off that.
No, you won't catch me out there either.
Yeah, dude. This is the story. This is the start of Jordan's anime series.
No, dude. I have zero desire for any of that.
Bro, you hit that 30 benchmark, and you said, "Nah, I'm good."
I'm good, bro. I'm just. I'll chill.
I'm chilling.
I'm good.
I'm chilling. But yeah, so that's cool. I'll definitely add it to my list as well. Then there is a couple I need to catch up on, which is ReZero, and something about a spider that I kind of hyped up a couple of sessions ago. I want to watch that. Hit me what I was doing this weekend. What took most of my time, and if you guys any Grand Blue Fantasy fans out there, fucking Guild Wars. It's a fucking clan thing. And it's fucking dog shit. And I gotta grind.
But they put Guild Wars into
it's called Unite and Fight, and you have a crew, and it's like your guild. Not Guild Wars the game, but like the event is like your two guilds go at it, and they have to like farm a boss for points and all that. And like I have a quota. I'm in a crew that has a quota. So I have to hit like 30 million, like 15 million on the prelims, 30 million on the fucking round 1, 2, 3, and 4. So like it's kind of like a grind. And
what, you'll get kicked out of your guild?
I don't give a fuck. Probably they'll probably just talk to me, but it's more or less like it's a benefit to do it, because like if you do good on it, like the terms of progression gets like the stuff you get from it is worth it in a way. It's just kind of like cheek and tongue of like, oh, here comes Guild Wars, and it's just kind of like a mind-numbing grind, you know. You just click buttons and watch it go off.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
So that was it took up all your anime time.
Yeah. And then dog sitting, and then the playoff games, even though I'm kicked out, and then catching up on Bleach and manga, because at least on the Guild Wars I can hit full auto, and it does its thing. But yeah. Speaking of manga, transition here. Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh wait, we talk about Jujutsu Kaisen in the episode still. So let's jump into we'll round out the anime of Jujutsu Kaisen, because we're hitting the 40-minute mark here, just to give you some headspace, and then we'll jump into the manga straight from that. Let's go, Jujutsu Kaisen. How about that new intro and the new outro? What are your feelings about it?
The new intro is fucking awesome.
It's fucking
bro.
sick.
Dude, I love
This is the series that I have no doubt, you know, when it first came out, I was like, this has got potential to be pretty big. You know, this is like a pretty big potential. Mark my words right now on this podcast. The date is January 17th, 2021. If we didn't know already, we do now. This intro, this outro has cemented Jujutsu Kaisen as one of the best animes for the 2020s. Decade of the 2020s.
Oh, yeah. 2020. Oh, the whole
decade, bro. I'm saying it right now. So 10 years from now, when you got a kid, and maybe I have, you know, a kid, doubt it. Maybe. Yeah, who knows? That's a long time. I do want a kid someday, you know, when the world's not killing itself. We'll look back and I'll be like, hey, kid, I'll tell my kid. He's like 8 years old now. That was your dad. See, he told you. That was me.
He called it. And I'll be like, well, that wasn't a tough one.
Shut up, dude. Give me my moment, bro.
I think everyone put some stock in that being a good show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, look how well the manga's been received.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, dude, I fucking love it.
Oh, what are you gonna say? Dr. Stone's gonna be a good show too?
Hey.
Huh?
Hey, dude, you keep talking, bro. You talk to the guy who can make your voice sound anything he wants to. I'm the editor, remember, dude. Keep talking.
Dude, make me sound like I sucked helium out of a balloon.
Bet.
Dude, do it.
I will.
But yeah, JJK, bro. It's so good. You're right. You called it.
Cheers to that. So, anyways, with that, the episode opens up with the highly anticipated beginning of the school. What would you call this arc? I think. Well, I don't want to call it. I wouldn't even get into the arc name of it because it's potential spoilers to it. So let's just say,
School tournament.
School tournament. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Got introduced to our boy Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Who's been seen in the intros.
Yep.
But dude, so the scene, I love this scene in the manga, and to seeing it in animated form, it is even better. But the whole, you have Itadori, who is fantasizing that his grand entrance back to his friends is gonna be just such a smash hit. And he's like just having these like outrageous thoughts, be like, it's gonna be so awesome, it's gonna fix global warming.
Yeah, dude, that Gojo kind of hyping Itadori up with that, dude.
Yeah,
that was so good, man. They do such a good job.
And then then the way it plays out, and he's just legit just posing there with he's throwing up shakas, and you just see his face get stuck because he realizes no one's like reacting the way he imagined it.
Yeah, Mega B and Nobara just kind of like stone faced, dude.
Yeah.
I was
I was
good.
dying.
I loved them. I love that trio so much, dude. Oh god, The way the anime is fleshing them out is just like I could not ask for anything more. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. If by chance any of you animators are watching this right now and you need a translation, I'm just going to give you 2 thumbs up and a heart sign like David Guetta, baby. And just say you're doing a great job. You're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, they are.
Notice how I said David Guetta
Beautiful.
again, and when it's David Guetta. I obviously didn't learn my lesson in Vegas.
That's true, yeah. That girl's probably a listener. She's going to hit you up in the comments.
You almost made me spit out my beer,
It's
bro.
Guetta. But yeah, in that scene, I also like, Gojo's like introducing him to the other school, but he's like stuck in that pose, and he just like turns the cart so he's facing him. And there's, for being such like a badass, just the comic relief that he brings too. It's such a contrast on his character. He's not the
Typical.
usual like.
He's not the
brooding
Levi.
Badass.
He's not a Levi.
No. He like just fun loving. He's like Itadori, but
Badass.
grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I like also how the other, the teacher at the other school mentions Gojo as an idiot.
Yep.
And then Megumi's like, no one used idiot as a term for him or something like that. Just slides that in.
What are they talking about too when like Gojo and that teacher from the other school like eating ramen or something and someone was talking bad about Gojo and he just sneezes up so fucking loud. Shoo!
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, ugh, disgusting.
Yeah.
We do get a lot of like fleshed out. Again, we have the Todo kind of just talking shit to the principal of the school, saying, I gotta fucking... He's like, that one idol that he loves, he's like, I'm gonna watch it live, and I'm gonna watch the recording. You can't stop me.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's so fucking funny. And you guys will soon, this is the love and the admiration. This is a part of what we love Todo for. As manga readers, and relating to you the authenticity and beautiful translation. These characters, like I just mentioned earlier, they're just hitting it. They're just hitting the spot on these characters. In terms of voice acting and everything. It's just like you can't ask for more, man. I'm just so appreciative of it, and maybe it's because I tried watching the Bleach reruns that I was doing, and I was like, ugh. And now, like, really kind of like appreciating what we're the anime of today.
Yeah, it's like a 1-to-1 translation. There's no liberties taken. I think I mentioned that last week, but they're staying, as close to the source material as possible in an animated form, compared to using little shortcuts or any of the tips and tricks or whatever that they used back in the day to bypass any like difficulties that they might have faced.
Yeah.
Or just, they're not throwing in this filler stuff like they used to run rampant with. So
yeah, I'm all for I'm all for like the breaks. They call them like first core and second core. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but like, do it. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Mappa. It gives me such high hopes for what they're gonna do with Chainsaw Man.
I wonder, dude, how big is their team to be able to handle?
Not good, dude. I heard that there's the negative PR that I'm hearing is from Mappa is like they're doing, JJK. They're doing Attack on Titan, and it's just like people are worrying like the crunch over there, and we mentioned this, the crunch that animators have already is something to be alarmed about. I think the whole crunch mentality is very toxic, a personal opinion of mine, and just seeing it take effect from a real world scenario, being our friend Shane, I'll bleep that out, I don't want to but you know what I'm talking about, and his kind of toxic crunch experience and what he went through makes me very, very apprehensive to that that culture and how I believe like crunch shouldn't be celebrated.
Yeah, I think on the topic of crunch, I'm pretty sure I saw there was some, I think it's a video game studio.
CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they're the ones that they're in trouble for the crunch.
Yeah, and this is a person who, outside looking in, didn't catch it till said person kind of read between the lines for me, and their sentence is like, none of our employees have obligatory crunch. What the hell was I saying right now? Obligatory crunch. They're not obligated to crunch. Now, when I read that, I was like, okay, but if you read between the lines, they're not obligated. That does not mean they are coerced and or peer pressured and or forced. From what I was told is, yeah, that's not required of you, but if you don't do it, then you're going to get passed up, like the promotions, the raises, because everyone else is doing it. So in order for you to keep up with the pace of the company, the other people are like, instead of you working your 8 hours, going home, like you feel bad for going home because you're getting guilt tripped because everyone else is doing 12 hours. So it's not obligated, but it's expected in a way, Does that make sense?
It's not said, but
it's like kind of like that CEO
it's unsaid
double speak kind of way. Yeah, unsaid.
Yeah.
Slimy, so, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate, and it shows in the product. I really liked Cyberpunk when it came out. A lot of it was the honeymoon. I do, and I think a lot of it was just like they did a good job in the theme of Cyberpunk, which I'm a huge fan of. But the glaring issues do come apart, and do become apparent, I should say, and it broke. It broke me at a certain point to where I just quit the game cold turkey. I just stopped, man. I haven't played it, I don't know, in a month at least.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't play the console version. So
yeah, and that to me as a PC player who could handle it. And that's the thing too, dude. It was like, I built this rig this year with like primo shit. Like I'm not running 3080s, but I'm running like 270 Super. I got the Noctua liquid cooling, dude. I got like freaking top of the line stuff, new Mobos, like a 5550 Mobo, and then I'm running Ryzen something, not the 9, I think it was the 7. Like it was not the top tier, but like a step down. But I'm running shit that it should be running flawlessly.
Yeah.
And I was kind of because you hate, as a consumer, you hate to like hear the bad news and stuff like that, but there's no reason that it runs that bad on a console when like Red Dead Redemption 2 can look as beautiful as it did and run on a console that way. So
yeah,
like no excuse.
Sure.
At this point I'm just like, you know what, it's like a salty taste in my mouth too, and I think again it also has to come to the knowing that they had that toxic crunch, and in respect to our mutual friend too, is just like, I kind of hate it, man. It really puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. That is an unfortunate aspect of that industry.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, we're actually not talking about anime manga anymore. We're a full video game podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. So rest in peace.
Hard transition.
Hard transition into that. But we'll jump into the. We'll leave that as a good spoiler break. How about that? That's a spoiler break. Now this is your warning. We're in the manga section now for Jujutsu Kaisen. So if you haven't read it, hey, this is where you're jumping off. This is where you take off, man. You're done. We'll see you next time on the cast. Just kidding. We hope you actually stay along and don't care about spoilers and just like listening to me and Jordan talk about things, because our voices are super soothing and hypnotic, maybe. But yeah, so Jujutsu Kaisen manga. Let's get into the headspace.
I'm still confused.
You're still confused
about the brother situation.
I think this actually shed a massive amount of light onto what's currently happening. So, if we go play by play for Jujutsu Kaisen, right? This week we have again more information, or at least I guess more confusion for some. but at least we have a foreshadowing of what's exactly taking place. It opens up with the eldest brother of the Cursed Wombs and his blood techniques, which obviously is like top of the line. But he's opening up, as he mentions, he always has his deep connections to his brothers, especially when they're near death, and he had that same feeling when Yuji Itadori was near death. So, of course, to him, Yuji is his younger brother, which we had the big exclamation mark from Yuji himself, which is further than, what's the word I'm looking for? Supported by the Panda Man himself, saying, I'm just asking, but you're not related, right? And Yuji says, no way, he almost killed me earlier. Todo, and then back to the Panda guy, he says, Todo too. Are you giving off freaky pheromones or something? So that, to me, solidifies the theory that is currently in talks between the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom, which is that Yuji Itadori has a passive curse, an innate curse that he is not aware of. We don't know the exact things that need to happen for it to take place, but it might be, if we take into what is the correlation between both Todo and the eldest Cursed Womb brother, that when Yuji Itadori is in a 1v1 situation and is about to die, some fight or flight curse and or heavenly technique takes place to, as a survival instinct, implant false memories within the people that's about to kill him, so they don't kill him. If I was to, like, boil it down into a simplified version. Now, if we talk about, you mentioned me talk about heavenly techniques. What is a heavenly technique or a heavenly curse? It's one of those words. It is the biggest example. I'm getting so excited. I'm talking fast. The biggest example is that of Maki and the sister, right? So if we understand, the sister of Maki is a cursed weapon user. She has the ability to manipulate objects, cursed weapons, right? She makes them cursed. Well, while Maki has no cursed ability, right? But she has freaky human strength and the ability to wield cursed weapons, right? Does that make sense? Like, you're giving up your curse technique for a physical boost. Like, think of like Rock Lee, you know? Like when they, like you're giving up your jujitsu, you're giving up like this, you don't have this curse ability, but what you do have instead is like an immense physical presence and or, you know, that would be the best way I think I can explain it. Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense.
Okay, so people are, and that would explain why Yuji, you know, as we see in the manga in the early, you know, even in the anime, when he like can like clock that first encounter of that demon with like a punch or two, you know, he's pretty freaking strong. And even in the anime right now, to reinforce that, Megami talks to Maki about the physical prowess of Yuji. He said, if you guys took on Yuji without any curse techniques, Yuji would probably beat all of you. So, with that being said, people are thinking, one, A, either this is a curse, right? B, this is a heavenly curse, heavenly, whatever. It's in that heavenly realm. C, it's both of those things, and the curse was kind of innately placed upon Yuji by his grandfather, who said, whatever you do, don't die alone. Die with friends. And that is the current running theory that I'm going all in and putting my chips in for that bet.
I mean, when you explain it like that, like all the pieces line up.
Give me a round of applause. That was a good job. I think that was a good job, bro. That came from my. That's a memory, baby. That's my cursed ability. I just don't know what I looked into my mind right now, but I was in there.
Did you rehearse that with the?
No, I didn't rehearse anything, bro. It's just like the whole Jujutsu Kaisen thing is just like when you have a series that it's almost I would kind of relate it to the way Attack on Titan kind of the world building in it. It's like narrative first almost, and with Jujutsu Kaisen, like I'm getting that now. Like this is obviously thought out. And if it wasn't thought out, then man, this guy's a good bullshitter. But man, it felt like this was very, very, very precisely thought out, and the crumbs were there.
Yeah, I mean the first chapters, you know, when he goes up against his teacher in that battle of sporting like events, you know, the coach, whatever he was, wanted him to run track or something along those lines.
Right.
And he's like, if I beat you, like, he's like, I won't be on the team or whatever. And the coach is like, well, if I beat you, you'll be a track member. And then you see, like, shot put, like, Yuji, he, like, throws the ball, like, further than the Olympic record. And, like, all the kids are like, what in the hell? Like, you see these little glimpses at there's some, like, weird strength hidden inside of him. And, I mean, when you do your TED Talk on that you just gave us, like, that all lines up. It all makes sense.
Now, I obviously didn't connect the dots myself. This was definitely, like I mentioned, like the fandom of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is kind of where everyone is putting their money at, and I'm assuming now more than ever with the most recent chapter, especially with the panda mentioning Toto, that's pretty much where we're at here. I need to jump back into that, and I'll be excited to kind of see that discussion take place. Now, bear in mind that what I just spewed out was just merely of like the first three to four panels in here of this chapter. We actually got so much more information taking place, and this is all why a big battle is happening right now. You know, we do have I forget her name, but she's obviously a follower of Sakuna, and also an ally of Geto, right? This is the girl who apparently, I think this is, unless I'm not remembering correctly, but this is the first time I've seen an iced curse technique take place within the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, to which the Kamo, what was his name? Kamo no Shitori? Kamo no
Who's he? The one with the bangs?
No, this is the guy. Shit, so much happened in these last two chapters. It's kind of crazy. So we'll just leave that. We'll talk about the ice later, right? Anyway, somebody says a curse technique of ice ? And of this high of level. So this presumes to me that this person, this ally of both Geto and Sakuna, is a very powerful demon, and it makes me wonder if this is like a demon that has lived from like the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery, which is when Sakuna was in his prime, right? And so now that also you get to kind of like a loose connection would be if this devout follower of Sakuna is helping Geto, is the grand scheme. We understood like Geto's whole thing was like, you know, okay, or Geto, someone's calling him the brain guy. The brain within Geto was like, we got to get Sakuna, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Sakuna and Geto have been in league since the beginning of this whole series? And that's not all. And we get this fight, blah, blah, blah. Ice is going on. Ice falls. She's about to murk them all, right? This lady's about to murk them all. But who else would come in to save the day than the mentor of not only Toto, but Geto? And to which she asks him, what kind of girls are you into? Yuki Tsukumo is making her debut of the modern day Jujutsu Kaisen series right now.
Yeah, that was cool. Just the fact that she's the mentor of our boy Toto, and you see that question she asks, like it's one he asks like everyone he meets, as we learned, you know, in past chapters. And I always like when you see like the mentor. You see it with Itadori and Gojo. They're like similar, and it's probably like a reason why they take these students under their wing. And so you see that with her and Toto. So I'm assuming she's just gonna wreck shit because our boy Toto, that's his forte.
Yes. And piggybacking off that, I don't think we covered this last week. If we did, I don't remember. But the person I was mentioning is Nori Toshikamo. This is the brain that is currently inhibiting the body of Geto, to which Geto says, that is one name that I've gone by. So this brain also would support the theory that currently this chick who is a support of Sukuna and this brain is actually also part of the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery, in that although he was Nori Tashikomo, the most notorious Jujutsu sorcerer of them all, he was probably somebody else because he inhibited that person as well. So this brain, obviously is not to be toyed with.
It's like a parasite.
Yeah, if these two people currently on the field go back to the golden age, so like there's so much happening right now in terms of like juicy lore that it is hard to keep up on without going back and reflecting, because you can miss stuff.
Yeah, and so just reading through it, we're reading weekly, and so there's a lot of time between chapters, but I feel like we are glossing over the fact that Itadori, he's still fighting, but he's been through how many boss fights in a row?
Dude,
first he fought the blood
he almost killed him.
Then he fought Patchwork.
Oh, Mahito.
And now he's going up against Gito. There's been three bosses in a row, and he's still going. He's still got the determination, and that kind of just when I think about it, that puts emphasis on how big this whole conflict is. This is a major storyline in this overarching story. Of course, it's the current story, so it's easy to say that, but I feel looking back on however long the run is, this is gonna be one of the ones people talk about as one of their favorites.
Yeah.
Just for the level of story details, and
a lot of things were answered.
Plus,
and the theory crafting is something that everybody loves to take part in. And I feel like this is just the golden nuggets,
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait for next week, man. I'm on the edge right here, to be honest with you.
I think the next chapter comes out in 2 days.
I'm there, baby. Are you sure? No way.
I'm pretty sure on Shonen Jump app it said 2 days for a new chapter.
Let me see. Oh, 2 days. The fuck?
Yeah.
How's that possible? Maybe it's an extra chapter.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But yeah, there's a lot going on with the Jujutsu Kaisen, so I think we'll wrap it up right there. I think we gave you a lot of information to investigate, to wrap your brain around, and to jump in the hype that is currently taking place within the series. We'll be right back. I'm going to take a short break, resting break, and I'll edit that all out. Just let you know, Jordan, I got to take a fat fucking piss.
All right.
Okay. You there?
Yep.
You don't need to go pee?
No.
All right, we'll jump back in here. We'll jump into My Hero. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and like I mentioned, just got back with the Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga. We're going to be jumping into My Hero Academia. Did you manage to catch up on that this week, Jay?
Yeah, dude. We're just jumping from some big story beats to big story beats.
Big fucking things happening, bro. Another one. DJ Khaled, We the Best, is...
Yeah, I thought...
There's no breaks for us. We're
Dude,
getting wombo comboed.
Yeah, I thought after, the big battle that we just witnessed, all the heroes and villains, that big culmination of that story arc, that it was going to do the normal trope where it slows down for a bit, but we're going straight into, like, the story's not over just because that battle's over, and it's basically an assault on an impenetrable prison where...
Tartarus.
The Tartarus, yeah, where, what's the name, All For One is currently in prison, and who's leading the charge?
Nobody other than
Shigaraki.
Shigaraki. Is it Shigaraki, though? Is it Shigaraki?
No.
Are we getting into... Now, this is something I want to... This chapter made me really excited to talk to you about it because of your expertise when it comes to comic books. And you may be guessing where I'm going with this, but is All For One in Shigaraki heading into a symbiote territory of that of like Venom and its host, where 2 is 1?
That's what I was assuming. I didn't connect it with the Venom, symbiote Spider-Man universe, that whole thing, but obviously when he got put inside that tank and was doing the upgrades, whatever that entailed, to get All For One's power, it wasn't just his power. He was getting his consciousness, and not just memories or anything. It's his full consciousness with the ability to take over the body is inside Shigaraki right now, and they're kind of fighting for control. It sounds like, sometimes Shigaraki will have control, and then sometimes All For One has control.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because he's assaulting the prison to get his body back, but knowing just from reading about All For One, his character doesn't seem like he'd be one to relinquish the control just because he has his body back.
No.
He'd have 2 of him almost.
Yeah, I mean that is the guy. His name is literally All For One. Everything is for him, and it's just like a plan B. It's so crazy. And I know it's hard to feel sympathy for Shigaraki considering the deaths of if you guys, please, if you haven't read the manga, don't just stop right here. This is big spoilers. So this is your warning. The death of the heroes was actually so much more than I anticipated with the last chapter. Dude, Midnight died, bro. Did you see that?
I know.
My heart sunk. My heart sunk, and that is in. I used to feel bad for Shigaraki, but now I don't, dude. I don't anymore. He's crossed that threshold of a point of no return. I understand he was, the granddaughter of Float, who was All Might's mentor, and that whole super sad storyline, but fuck, man.
Still.
They got me messed up. It got me that last chapter got me messed up.
He chose to look at, and he was manipulated, of course, but just think of it as the Manson murders. Charles Manson manipulated all these people to kill.
Oh my god,
people,
dude, that's so crazy.
but
That's so crazy that you brought
doesn't-
that up.
Yeah, it doesn't like take away their guilt just because they were manipulated.
Right.
Just,
They
like,
still chose that.
Shigaraki.
They still now Shigaraki
Yeah.
may have an excuse considering there's literally another person inhabiting his mind, but this was all laid out before that even took place.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I'm still fucked up. Thinking about Midnight got me messed up, man. It really did.
I know we didn't even get like it was one panel.
She just literally
showing,
got
like,
beat
the
up
list
to
of-
death. She literally got pummeled to death, like by a mob of,
Yeah.
of no-name villains. How fucking disrespectful and disgusting. Like, they said Horikoshi cried when he wrote that chapter. Yeah. I can see why. Dude,
Yeah.
I didn't even like Midnight that much, but in terms of like her character design, because like, oh, she's sexy, but like what she did for the heroes, and maybe this is also coming from. Now, do you mind if I spoil Vigilantes for you a bit? I'm thinking. Now, Vigilantes is such a good spin-off of My Hero because it goes into like there's like a whole arc where it's just Aizawa, what's his name? Racerhead, Aizawa, Mike, and Midnight kind of backstory of them in high school. So now on top of that, man, like what not only what she did as a mentor for the kids, but what she did for Eraserhead and Mike, dude, I got messed up. I'm not gonna lie, man. I have like goosebumps in my arms right now thinking about it. And this was just last chapter. This chapter, like Tartarus, like you just mentioned, like this is the true villainy of All for One, of not giving a moment's rest for the heroes. It's just one thing after another after another. There's no pause.
Yeah.
There's no moment to catch your breath. You just keep going, 100%. This guy is going. Jersey Shore cabs are here full throttle, man.
Dude, it's a testament for his character that he
Is a villain.
is orchestrating.
This guy is
he's
a villain.
Orchestrating all this.
This is a fucking
Yeah,
super
he's
villain.
a pure villain, and he's orchestrating it all from inside of a prison cell of the most secure prison in the world. And I mean, we kind of had foreshadowing from, the early parts of the series that eventually Deku's gonna have to be the one to take down All for One.
Right.
And I mean, he's basically free now, and All Might is not All Might anymore. So the great hero, he's not who he used to be, who took down All for One last time. So now, like, it seems like it's fast tracking towards a state where young Midoriya is gonna have to fill that role.
And speaking of Deku, young Midoriya, dude, we get a flashback of some of the two most traumatic experiences Deku has had with villains, and that is this guy who kind of has the blades out of his mouth I don't think Deku was involved with him directly, but he was there during the camp when Deku was fighting this muscle fucking dude. And this was a dude, Muscle Man, whatever his name is, that was a key point of Deku hitting 1,000,000%, but also would be extremely traumatic because it also broke Deku quite a bit in terms of like his bones and pushing him to that limit. So, I would be keen to see how Deku, I'm assuming there's going to be a rematch here. And maybe this is going to be a rematch of Muscle and Deku. And also, I think this guy was like Moon Knight or Moon Shadow or some Moonblade type deal, who attacked the campers. I'm assuming he's going to have a rematch with some of the maybe Bakugo or Todoroki. But, fuck, man, these kids, it's hard to... Damn, dude, these kids are going through so much right now. I don't know. We got introducing to a couple new characters here. I don't know if they were been introduced into the series yet. This guy that says boss, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But this chick, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've never seen her because I'm not gonna lie, dude. I kind of caught some feelings on these two panels right here, dude. I don't know what's going on. That two-tone hair and that smirk and those. These eyes are falling. These eyes ain't never seen another something like you before. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but when a woman gives off a strong presence, man, it just honestly, I'm a sucker for that. 100%.
But yeah, I don't recall either of those characters either. Granted, I mean, we're nearing 300 chapters, so they could have been somewhere. We just missed it or can't recall, but yeah, I'd say they're new. At least they're new to us again if they aren't.
Now, do you think they're going to escape from Tartarus, or do you think they're going to make this their new base of operations?
I was just assuming they'd escape, but
I
don't know. I think they're gonna escape,
dude, because I mean, what other hideouts do they have anymore, right?
And I mean, if they're able to,
that's true.
I think they could probably repurpose the defenses in their favor. Like,
I think All For One,
that would actually make a lot of sense.
I think All For One, has planned this so much. He probably has like 2,000 fucking hideouts.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you'd think that you'd want to get out of jail and go to somewhere.
Yeah, because they are trapped by they are landlocked or sea locked, so there's not really, if you had like heroes that could like, that was a fucking motorcycle. If you had heroes that could like shoot stuff and just like nuke, you could like essentially nuke this area, and you wouldn't have any casualties. So yeah, I guess thinking about it, All For One probably is going to bounce out of here.
Yeah. But I mean, if they do, we saw the defenses on this place. It's got those drones that launch, the bridge that can drop. Like, it would be a good fortification. I mean, obviously, it was a Supermax prison. So I don't know if they, All For One has like taken a hacking power or something, and they're able to like take over everything.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
I think it's like a combination of like
out.
the hacking. Yeah, hacking and Shigaraki's like disintegration. And Shigaraki, man, has got a fuck ton of powers too, dude. This is like really, really dire. This is getting really dire really fast if it wasn't already.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think they're going to take it over just for the fact that he, and I think All For One in Shigaraki's body, like, mentions he could just disintegrate the building, but then his body would get crushed by the pressure of the water, so he can't go that route.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that makes me think
Good
that
point.
he thought that could be an option, but he'd have to come up with a different way.
Good point, man. Good point. But yeah, so that's my hero in a nutshell. Like we mentioned, just these manga chapters have been just like hitting us that Mike Tyson 1-2, bro.
Yeah, that Mike Tyson hook uppercut.
Pretty much. But we're hitting we're close to the 130 mark here, so I'm gonna give you the floor to see if there's any other manga you want to talk about briefly. Try to wrap this up before a whole half hour goes by here, 1.5.
No, I mean I've just been reading the same stuff. We went pretty deep on One Piece last week, so no reason to touch that again for a while. But so just the same old stuff.
Okay, cool. I wanted to get into Bleach. But I think that's going to be its own segment here, because I finished the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, and it's everything I ever wanted for. So look forward to that coming in maybe like an episode or two. I definitely have to delegate some time to talk about it because, man,
that good, huh?
It's fucking awesome, dude. It's literally I think anything a Bleach fan could have wanted. So I'll talk about that a little more. I want to give the proper time and respect to Taikubo and his creation here. For that, I guess I'll jump into Black Clover real quick. And this is just pretty much saying Black Clover manga is fantastic. Shout out to the Black Clover fans who are supporting this against all the hate you guys get and the shade. You don't deserve it. It's a good fucking series. It's a really good fucking series. And Queen of the Briars, that was a fucking awesome moment in Black Clover. It's pretty much a curse. I don't want to. Are you reading it, Jay? I don't think you are, right?
No.
We'll jump into. This is again another series I want to respectfully give the appropriate amount of time. This is a pinnacle moment in the series, and I don't want to gloss over it because it definitely definitely deserves its time in the limelight. So, with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the third episode of 2021 Monch Hours Podcast. Again, thank you so much for taking a part of this with myself and with Jordan and the rest of our listeners, our watchers, our viewers. You guys, make this all worthwhile doing it. And we'll see you on the next podcast. Things coming up. We do have a Bebop episode in the works. Be excited for that. One of our most hype episodes or most downloaded is the deep dive that we did with Samurai Champloo, and that just gives me and Jordan so much direct feedback of appreciation of us really going out and just putting our hearts out there onto an episode that we love so much. So that's why we're going to be jumping into that more so often this year, and we'll be starting with Bebop, which is another Watanabe series. So look forward to that. I'm sure you guys all do. Anyways, Jay, I want to thank you too for coming on week after week on this podcast with us, and that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think you covered it. Like always, wouldn't be the same without the listeners, so definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, hearing John Carlos' predictions of the future. Yeah. Hot take, I hear that Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be a good one. So
dude. Yeah, I got L on that one. I got Brandon with the L, man. Brandon with the L. I'll take the L this week. Giancarlo I take the L this week for sure.
But yeah, no, I think you covered everything. I want to second your sentiments, the appreciation for the listeners. And yeah, Bebop.
All right.
It's a good one too. Hot take, that's a good stuff as well. So
until next time, we'll see you later, Space Cowboys. Bang.
We out.
Thanks for watching. Till next time on Monch Hours.